Can we reenact the eclipse real quick? Yeah, we did it. Mo, what'd you do for the eclipse?
I drove to Rhode Island.
But we're in Maine. Why would you go south for the eclipse? That's pretty dumb.
Because I had to do a work thing, and I hate Rhode Island, man. I just hate Rhode Island so much. And also, who cares about an eclipse, man?
You know, that's kind of how I was feeling about it. And I gotta say, I was in Portland for the eclipse, and I was like, oh, it's going to be 95%. 95% totality. That's pretty good. That's a lot.
Good enough.
Guess what? It's nothing like the 100%. And I also was a big procrastinator with the glasses. I was like, oh, I should think about getting some of those. And I was like, whatever. It's fine. Whatever, Big FOMO moment happened. I was like, I should have driven to the place where it was the full. It looked sick. Dude, it looked so sick.
Yeah.
You didn't think it was amazing?
I don't know. I talked to a friend of mine about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I was alive during one of the last big eclipses we had, and I remember not caring then and not caring now." And I was just
it just looks cool, and like it's just one of those weird coincidences, like in space, like there's the big moon, and it just happens to like be the same size as the sun in the sky. And like every so often those things go in front of, like the moon goes in front of it. It's not like every day. It's like really once every 10 whatever years or 20 years, depending on different parts of the planet. But,
dude, what if we were like a red pill podcast and my response to you was like, I don't have time to pay attention to the solar eclipse. I got to make my money. Are you making enough dough, man? Can you take care of your family? Can you buy your mama a house? I will be able to buy my mama a house because I didn't spend time focusing on the little bitty solar eclipse. Little bit of God's little nature shit. No.
It sounds to me like you're a guy who was going further away from the eclipse during the eclipse.
I made $35 during the time I wasn't paying attention to the eclipse. What did you do?
I don't know.
What did you do?
Did you wear the glasses at all?
No.
And
you don't have to. We were far enough away. All we noticed is it got dark suddenly in the middle of the day, like a little darker. It wasn't that, and then it was done.
Wait, what do you think you wear the glasses for?
You can't look directly. To look and observe the eclipse, you have to wear the glasses, but you don't need to wear the glasses if you're looking forward and you're not looking up in the air.
But that's the whole point, is you want to see what it looks like to see part of the sun get blocked out.
I was in a vehicle.
Who are you?
I was in an enclosed. They call them an automobile. See, a guy named Henry Ford one day decided to slap on a bunch of wheels. Wheels are circular things that the caveman brought to us by the great Yakub.
This is good.
Yeah, this is the best part. I'm mansplaining wheels to you. And they slap those on into what's called the body. So car bodies can come in a few different forms, but the actual structure of it could either be what's called a unibody structure or a full frame structure. There are also other unique types of definitely frames for vehicles. So we were in a car with a unibody structure.
Are you thinking about how many people are fast forwarding through this part?
I'm thinking about just
because that's all I'm thinking about is how much people just fast forwarded through your monologue on wheels.
Oh, well, it's informative.
No, it's everyone knows what a wheel is, but
no, they don't.
That was cool. But you were in the smallest state. Did it feel small?
It felt too small. It was crowded.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like it. It could barely fit my butt in there. It was just a small state. Also a corrupt little state.
Yeah, they've got a very storied history.
Yeah, their mayor, not the mayor. It's like being the governor of Rhode Island is like being the mayor of some places. But it's their governor was a mafioso. Mafioso.
Yeah, I was friends with a guy in college who I went to visit his house, and it felt a little like The Sopranos when I was over there.
So his dad was in the garbage business.
I kind of No, he was not. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was in the mob. I mean,
Was he nice to you?
so not such a nice
I'm
family.
sure he was.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I'm
God.
sure they all were.
So nice. I mean, it felt like, as I look back at it, it was The Sopranos. This house, like, it was pretty. It was
Also, like, you gotta understand, sometimes, like, some people, they're just not mobsters. They're just Italians. You know, it is a lot of Italian culture.
It's true.
Like,
It's true. But I mean, the nicest people. I mean, I couldn't say a bad thing about it. Also, can't confirm the guy was in the mob either. That's just like, I hadn't seen The Sopranos. It was kind of one of those, like, oh my God, like, looking back on it, I was like, oh, that guy was probably in the mob. And you remember, like, I remember asking the kid what his dad did, and he always gave those weird runaround answers. Like, he never really said what he did. And I don't know if he wanted you to just think his dad was in. He could have been one of those guys.
could have been.
That he wanted you to think his dad was in the mob to make him look cool. But I mean,
Imagine his dad's really just like an accountant.
he could have been. I mean, he was an Italian accountant, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you don't know. All I know, nice family.
Yeah, that's all you gotta say.
When you're here,
Your family.
your family,
Your family.
your family. No, I spent a lot of time in Rhode Island. I used to date a girl who lived in Rhode Island, so
Oh, really?
I'd go to Rhode Island.
I'm kidding about it. I didn't like driving to Rhode Island. I just didn't want to go. So therefore I hated the state because of that. I was like, you made me go here. I hate you.
Do states give you a vibe when you go in
Every
there?
state has a vibe.
Do you what's your favorite state in New England?
My favorite state in New England?
Not excluding Maine.
I was going to say Maine. Hands down, my favorite state is Maine. The state I hate the most is Massachusetts. I do not like Massachusetts.
What about it do you not like?
The traffic. Some of the people, honestly, in Boston, except for comedy people, just don't like Mass, man. I especially like Boston area, like, is all I can speak towards. Rhode Island wasn't bad. People were friendly. One thing I noticed in Rhode Island was there are more mom and pop businesses than I'm used to. And it was like really weird to see like old school mom and pop corner stores that aren't just like, gas stations anymore. Like it was way more like independent businesses out there than I'm used to seeing. But I'd say of the New England states I've been to, if it's not Maine, it probably is Rhode Island. I don't mind New Hampshire. I like New Hampshire a little bit, except for the fact that, if somebody hits your car in New Hampshire, potentially they could be uninsured, and that's legal there because they're stupid. But
Sounds so somber, Mo.
yeah, I just, I don't really like New England, dude. If I was going to say my favorite state in the Union,
Mississippi.
shout out Texas.
You big Texas boy.
Texas. Austin in particular.
You love Austin?
I love Austin, dude. Austin's a fun city. Austin is I saw a black dude with a giant steak in Austin, Texas.
Nice.
And I walked up to him and I just chatted with him, and I was like, dude, what's like the weirdest thing people do out here? Because he was just one of those street performers with snake. And he's like, yo, man, for real, the weirdest thing is a lot of women come up to me and say, can I touch your snake? And they end up going for my penis. And it just happens way more than I'm comfortable with. And I was like,
wow.
man,
Wow.
that's sad,
Yeah, I've just driven through Texas. I had
Texas.
I had quite a bad experience at an Arby's.
First off, why'd you go into an Arby's?
I just want to go somewhere where the food was good,
Are we sponsored by Arby's?
We might be. We don't know yet.
They have the meats. What was the bad experience at an Arby's?
So I go in there, and I'm like, I'll just get a roast beef sandwich. I'd had Arby's before. I know what to expect. It's not going to be like knock you out of the, knock you off your feet. It's not going to knock your socks off. It's not going to knock your pants off.
Keep your pants on?
Your pants will be remaining in place. But I wanted a roast beef. So I ordered roast beef. I'm getting my sandwich. I'm looking at it. I see
What a weird craving.
yellowing on the meat. Freezer burn.
Do better, Arby's.
Do better. And
Do
you know what
better.
I did? Being the polite guy, I just ate around it. I ate around it because I didn't want to be a bother to the folks at Arby's.
Which they don't deserve. I remember back when I used to work at the bank, Arby's, they smelled so bad. They were the worst people to come through. They smelled the worst.
Like they smelled like the restaurant.
They smelled like the restaurant, and they smelled so greasy. And I felt bad. Like, I genuinely felt bad for the employees. I'm like, they know how they smell. That's like tough. That's a tough smell. It's a tough job.
Tough. It's tough to do a job where you smell when you come home.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I was a seafood guy.
My mom was too.
Your mom was a seafood guy?
My mom was a seafood guy. She transitioned into a Somali woman. Mom
Was a big seafood guy.
We don't ask a lot of questions.
She was really a seafood guy?
She was a seafood lady.
Really? Where at?
So when we first moved to this country, we lived in lived in Boston, and we moved out here. Hence why I hate Massachusetts.
Moved out here.
Moved out here. And we lived on Congress Street, and my mom had to work off the books, and she worked off the books and like near the docks or whatever, and she was shelling shrimp, and every day she would come back home smelling like shrimp. And
Hey.
I would hug her when she comes back from work because I miss my mommy, and I would smell her and I'd be like, ew. And then she would hold me and be like, the smell brings the money to the house.
She'd say
you
that?
bastard, you must love the smell. Yeah, she would like. But
And would she be laughing the whole time?
oh yeah, it was a funny moment.
Man, your mom sounds funny.
When she was cooler when we were younger, man. It's when we got older.
How old do you think she was in those days? Was she in her 20s, 30s?
My mom burned her like early 20s on us. She was
in
very
her 20s.
beautiful and really burned her youth to raise us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But being a fishmonger is real.
It's like being a single mom, being a fishmonger.
You know what's cool? Just you get done with a hard day of work, and then you're just done with work, and you want to hit the bars afterwards with your friends. And I'm working the late night shift at Whole Foods, so every once in a while we go to the bars, and I'm just like, I smell like fish. There's no way I'm gonna meet a woman.
Some women love fish.
Yeah, but not like seafood department fish.
Are you a fisherman?
Oh my God! What do you have a boat? Oh my gosh!
Are you a fisherman?
Do you charter boats? Do you have a tuna? Do you know how to catch a tuna?
You can put your line in me. Oh, smelling good.
All right. So it's tough to have a job where you have a smell when you come home. And those Arby's folks, look, just don't serve the freezer burn stuff, and we're gonna be cool, you and I.
Just do better, Arby's. Honestly, Arby's, this is a development call. We're calibrating and we're growing. That's all it has to be. That's all it has to be.
I will say, have you ever had the curly fries?
I believe so.
Those are good.
Well, it's hard to mess up
It's not
curly
about
fries.
hard to mess up, but it's a true fact that they are delicious.
Here's my problem with
And
Arby's.
they might be the best curly fries, the Arby's ones. The seasoned curly fries.
I don't know how Arby's stays open, to be honest with you. Has to be money laundering.
There's a lot of them that closed, I think, in this state.
Really? There's one
There
that
used to be one by the mall. There was one in Portland.
There was one
In the mall.
There's one in the mall, and
That's gone.
that's the Arby's I was talking about that we used
It's
to have.
gone.
I forgot that's gone.
The one on Forest Ave, gone.
But that's mostly a factor of like the mall. The mall is like done. Have you been to the mall lately? I went to the mall recently to go get food.
Yeah. No, I've been there.
It's dead.
You know, the COVID really put the nail in the coffin in the mall.
They have spots like in the food court that are just empty that
Oh,
no
yeah.
one's filling. Nobody's taking up those spots.
No, I might open a clown dunk tank. You just go, you pay $5, just get your dunk on, you know?
Local mall revived by man who goes into dunk tank.
The new dunk tank booth at the mall is making $4 million a quarter.
Oh,
It's profitable. It's
People love
saving the whole world.
I think the only thing saving the mall right now is round one.
The dunk tank economy is it's booming now.
Oh man,
It's the biggest industry. It's above oil.
that GameStop's no longer in that mall.
It pieced out.
Oh, dude, I remember I went to that GameStop so many times when I was a kid. Well, GameStop kind of shot themselves in the foot. Who wants to go to a GameStop? The minute I could replace GameStop in my life, I replaced them so quick. I hated GameStop. They were always mean. They were always difficult.
You ever hear of Electronic Boutique?
What's that?
Electronics Boutique. It was like a GameStop in the 90s.
Ooh.
I want to say there might have been some buyout where it got bought by GameStop, but I just remember this. It was just like a GameStop. But they randomly sold Magic cards.
Ooh.
And this guy figured out that there was some dude that worked there that was really bad at his job, and he sold him a whole box of booster packs, Magic the Gathering, for the price of one booster pack.
Oh.
He was like, yeah, $2.99, and then sold him the whole box, and he's like, thank you. And then he just basically got a free. I mean, that guy had to get fired, right?
For what? What does that come out to? Like $100?
Over $100.
It's harder to rehire someone for that than it is to just like put them on a warning, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on. Well, $100 was a lot more money back when you were younger.
It's about $4 million now.
Yeah.
I've aged, Mo.
Well, you've aged like fine wine, my friend.
Yeah.
You look like I'd suck you up. GameStop sucked. And I'm glad they're dead.
I know all those people bought the stock.
Dude, that was wild. They made that movie, but like I remember while it was
Wait, they
happening,
made a GameStop stock movie?
Yeah, they already made it. Yeah,
Oh,
they
damn.
covered the whole story.
Missed that one.
What was his name? Something Value. He's a YouTuber. He's a big YouTuber who got that right, and he was so funny. That whole debacle. I regret not buying GameStop stock because I remember it was like October or something. I had the extra money and everybody was saying do it, and I should have just thrown money at it because
It doesn't
made
matter,
some
dude.
good
Money.
money.
I've realized lately there's just this thing. I really feel like I've valued money too much most of my life. I think I cared about like small amounts of money too much. Like I should just not even let it affect me anymore.
Dude, I'll take care of your money.
You'll take care of it?
I'll take care of it. I'll shepherd your money.
What a relief.
I'll take
to
that
hear
burden
that.
off your back. Dude, I agree with you that money shouldn't be the only thing you think about, but it's such an important part of life. It's so important.
Yeah, it's how you live your life. It's how you
It's how you buy time.
be able to do things.
That's all it is. Money
Yeah, you
buys
trade
you
your time for other time.
Well, we focus so much about trading time, but money buys us time if we really think about it.
Yeah.
Because every human being has the capacity at one point, if they learn to make the things that they want, right? If you really wanted to, you can learn to make that laptop. You can learn to make this mic. You can get you can gather the materials to make it, but really you buy it so you can buy the time it takes to make it and put it together. So all money buys you time in one way or another. When you go out to eat, it buys you time. But it's like, it's such a, I don't know, it's such an important part. That's how you kind of get through stuff. We've departmentalized everything in life. Compartmentalized, but really departmentalized. Like we put, like we got people who make the music, so we buy the music.
Yep.
We got people who, get the materials to make the metals and make audio equipment. We buy the audio equipment. All of society kind of has their specialties.
Yeah.
But you buy time.
You got to buy the time. There's a guy who has to make Band-Aids,
There's a guy out there.
And you don't want to have to like go, make your own Band-Aid like a doofus. What are you gonna do? What would you do? You get a cut, you're gonna go grab a roll of paper towels and cut a little piece off, and then a piece of tape, and then put that on there, and then that's your Band-Aid. No, you go open up the package of Band-Aids in your medicine cabinet, and you put it on, and then you get PFAS in your skin. So there you go.
Yeah, fuck Band-Aids.
Yeah.
I bleed out like a man.
Did you know that? There's forever chemicals in Band-Aid, some form of brands of Band-Aids.
Dude, I already think humans live too long. Just cut it, it short.
What do you think? What would be a good lifespan for a human being? 50 years?
No. I think once you start getting into your like late 70s, you know, you're starting to lose the good years, you know? I think once you're at that point. But who knows? Humans could live for a long time potentially. We don't know.
I know. I still think I'd like to download my brain into a machine. My consciousness live forever.
I feel like
simulate sleep.
Simulate sleep. That we talked about that last time. That's such a waste of time. I'd be up all day.
Really? You don't want to simulate at least taking a break?
Nah, because why would you need a break? You'd have infinite energy.
Yeah, but your break could be 1 second, and it would just you'd be like, oh, I feel rejuvenated.
Yeah,
from
but
that 1 second where you simulate 8 hours.
Rejuvenated.
I've been thinking about it, man, and I'm like, I really think this is a simulation. I think it is. There's too many weird... Dude, I saw 2 cars that were exactly the same. Just make the same turn. Looked like the same guy was driving them. I didn't check the plates, but probably the same plates. I was like, there's a glitch, man.
What if there's a simulation, but the devs are like just really lazy right now? Like the game is dying. So they're just like, they're kind of handing in the towel. They used to be like, humanity was so much more fun like 4 patches ago, but now they've like kind of made it easy.
Yeah, I'd be wanting to have fun with it. Like, but it is a little interesting that like we got that big JWST. You know what I'm talking about?
No, what is that?
The James Webb Space Telescope.
Oh yeah.
JWST. Just
shout
looking
out.
Yes, shout out. Just looking way off in the distance to the beginning,
Beginning of the universe.
Yeah. And it's just where the loading started.
Have you ever... Yeah, it is just where the loading started.
That was the loading bar, yeah.
You also have to take into consideration that what we're seeing isn't what's physically there. It's like, I think it's called spectra or whatever. Like they're basically interpreting gases that they see in the universe. Yeah. Well, there's different types. They use a bunch of different types of recording, but like, have you ever taken I always mix the two. Astronomy course? Have you ever taken that?
I think I took one in college.
Well, it's I highly recommend anyone take one. It's a really cool course to kind of tell you how they get those images, because like one way they do it is like literally like they know what different colors gases are, and they just look at the colors of gas in the universe, and they're like, oh, this is kind of what that place will look like.
I wonder what the color gas is after I have Chipotle. What do you think that?
Oh, that's green.
That's green. It's always
like,
green.
It's like that cartoonish poison green.
Wouldn't it be wild? They just find Chipotle farts in space. They're like, how did those get there?
I'm beefing with Chipotle, man. I don't like Chipotle. I'll never eat a Chipotle ever again. Every Chipotle experience I've had lately has sucked. They've gone downhill. I hope Chipotle burns down. I hope everyone who works for Chipotle works somewhere else. And I hate Chipotle with a burning passion. They used to be so good. Do you remember the holy days of Chipotle when they were amazing?
Let me tell you, 2011, that's when I remember Chipotle being peak.
Like, I didn't even mind it when it gave me the diarrheas and the little sicknesses. It was so good.
You don't have to mention
that,
but...
perfect.
Yeah.
But now, Taco Bell is much better. Taco Bell is supreme.
Wow, shout out Taco Bell.
I love Taco Bell. I'm going to go to Vegas this summer, and I'm going to... the Holy Land.
You're going to go to the Planet Hollywood Taco Bell?
I'm going to go to the Taco Bell flagship.
Is that what it is? They started in Vegas?
They have a flagship.
And they have the old logo, right?
Yeah, they have
I did go to
everything.
an old logo Taco Bell when I was living out in California, and let me tell you, the tacos there, top notch.
The Taco Bell near where I live right now, they've been peaking. They're real good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say about the eclipse. I thought the wildest thing about the eclipse was how many religious fanatics were coming out and being like, the end of the world's here, because of all the earthquakes, because of the whole red heifer thing that's happening. People are like, the world is ending. Like some Jewish people are like, the Messiah's coming back. Some Muslims are like, oh my God, the Dajjal's gonna be here. I don't know if you know about the story of the Dajjal. But it's like the Islamic Antichrist.
Really?
Yeah, he's a redhead. Islamic Antichrist is a redhead.
Classic. Oh, they must hate redheads.
Oh, not in general. Well, maybe the dumb Muslim people hate redheads, but he's going to be a redhead. He's going to have a tattoo or something over one of his eyes. He's going to have a bad eye. And he will go around saying he's the Messiah. And he will do things like kill people. He'll kill someone and revive them, and he'll torture them by doing that. And a ton of people will follow him. And if you follow him, you're like going insta hell. And then Jesus comes back and fights him.
Wouldn't it be wild if, like, you died and then immediately you're back, you're in hell, and then you're just immediately eating dinner with OJ?
Yeah, O.J. Simpson is dead and most definitely in hell. I was mad, though.
What if, you're eating dinner with OJ and Hitler, and they're arguing over, I don't know, something cool, and you come in,
I would not have dinner with Hitler in hell. I imagine Hitler is ostracized in hell. Like, I assume they don't hang out with Hitler.
You sure he's not, like, captain of hell?
I don't think he's captain of hell.
Do you think he's the devil's, like, homeboy?
I don't think so.
Do you think the devil's always mad? Or do you think he's like genuine, like a generally happy guy?
I think the devil is like a manager at like a Walmart, like just kind of detached and like devoid of all emotion.
And he's just like, oh man, like I guess the benefits are pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll stick around. I've been here so long.
I don't think he gets joy out of his job.
Do you think he ever does like a cart run just to get out?
Maybe.
Like a hell cart run.
Just a quick cart run, boys. I'll be right back.
I'm just gonna head over to the cart corral, just clean up. Oh, all the wheels are melted. Oh no.
Oh no.
This sucks.
I think most religions have like different spheres of hell, right? And different spheres of heaven. There's like in Islam for sure there are different, like there's primo heaven, and then there's like heaven. And
where's the one with all the virgins?
That's not true. That is not true.
That's debunked right now.
That not debunked now, debunked a long time ago, or at least I don't believe it's true. They made an argument like about that once. Like it's a weird. You don't know that stuff. None of that's in the Quran.
I know.
Like,
how do you check that?
Like they're like, you get that many virgins? Like I don't know how many virgins you get. First off, why are you wanting virgins?
I know.
Also, like here's the thing. Why would you want? Why is it? I don't understand. Like, is your dick gonna work in heaven? Is like, I would assume like when you die,
give me
all your worldly things go away.
Give me 10 hookers and I'll be fine.
I would love to be without lust, without
what
hunger,
would you be doing?
without all that stuff.
What would you be?
Dude, oh my! You want to know my version of heaven?
Tell me. I've been wanting to know ever since I met you.
Oh my God, my version of heaven. Because heaven's whatever you want, at least from my understanding.
All right, dude. You have to be so agreeable.
I'd be in an anime.
Okay.
I'd be in an anime, and I'd have seasons, and I'd be the character in my anime, and I'd go through all the challenges and get my powers and do XYZ. I would live an anime life,
Yeah.
And I'd be, I wouldn't have desire. I would not even think about sex. I wouldn't think about food. I would think about having fun being this character, and fighting villains and, I would fulfill this childish dream I have. There are so many other things I'd rather do than be like, you're out of your body. You have no more bodily needs. You don't need an erection. You would do it for the love of the game.
What if you want it just for something to do?
Someone who's just bored. Just give me some virgins.
No. Well, yeah, I guess so.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
How
No,
about you? What's your version of heaven?
I think heaven is like you just like I mean pretty much my life exactly minus anything that's difficult.
I love.
No, I like a challenge, but
Fuck you. That answer. That answer makes me look like a dick.
yeah.
My girlfriend watches this. She goes, "Oh, so I'm not even in your heaven. You and me and my dog."
Well, we
you're
talked
not
about
in
this
heaven."
before because when we write the script that we memorize for these podcasts,
Yeah. Well, we're awful script writers. If that's the
we're
case.
nailing it. I mean, do you know how hard it is to write a script and about how this is the part of the script where we're talking about the script. It gets very meta.
It gets real meta.
But we're like, we gotta make sure we leave Mo's girlfriend out because we do not want
to upset
Courtney.
Her. She's a lawyer. She'll sue us.
She's
She'll
like,
sue us.
this is Mo Keith Time podcast versus the state of Maine. Claiming they're the Maine's #1 interracial podcast.
Yeah, and there's a Lewiston. She'll represent the enemy.
Is there another Lewiston interracial podcast?
Well, that doesn't even exist anymore.
Right, we're the #1.
Yeah, we're the #1.
You're now listening to Maine's #1 interracial podcast, Mo Keith Time.
I do have to share something with you though.
Yeah,
I'm not black.
Oh, word.
I'm not.
What are you?
So it's tough to talk about.
Yeah. Are you trans?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I really, really just identified with Somali culture growing up. In my cul-de-sac.
Yep.
In Kennebunk, Maine. So I took Michael Jackson's blackness away from him. I stole it.
Really?
Yeah, I ate it up. I licked it up.
Have you seen this video yet?
That's a Japanese man in blackface doing Louis Armstrong. I want to punch him in the face so badly. Oh my god, his accent.
What'd you think of that?
I want to punch him in the face.
As a not a black person?
As not a black person.
What I was getting at, are you Asian and just painted?
Just
right now?
painted, yeah.
Is that you?
That's it, yeah. That's all I did. It is funny on the internet. No one knows your race, so like,
no.
It's funny to talk to someone for hours, like on Discord and stuff, and like you don't know who they are. You're just playing a game. You're just like looking for group, and you're talking to someone for hours, and suddenly they say something racist, and you're like, "Bro, man, I love you, man, but I'm black. You can't say that." And they just like get off the call and never talk to you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard feeling.
I've been doing VR lately, and I'll be playing some VR poker.
Ooh.
And we're chatting at the table. I always, if I'm in the mood, as soon as I get to the table, I'll immediately just start talking. Like even if no one's talking, I'll just have a monologue. I'll do something just make jokes about what's going on.
You're a little chatty Cathy.
I like to be a little chatty Cathy. See what everyone's vibe is, and then people will start talking, and you're just having conversations with people that you'll never meet and just like
don't give a
total
shit
strangers. Yeah, but they have a conversation with you, and they're pleasant most of the time. They're usually having a good time. And the fun thing is in the poker game, you can just like there's a mute button. You can grab this thing out and you just aim it at the person, and they turn into a dummy head and they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to listen to them anymore if they're being annoying. So you get to mute people. But anyway, you're just kicking it with all these people, and you don't know what they really look like. You're just an avatar, So it's kind of an interesting thing where it's like all these prejudices you have against people based on who they are. It's like they're just washed away, and you're just a voice and personality. And that's what it should be like, man. We should all be avatars just walking around. What do you think about that?
I like to know, who I'm dealing with and if they're the right race. Some people I don't want to deal with. I don't want to deal with some
Which race? What's your least favorite race?
I think I've said it before, and I won't say
And
it
I'll
again.
say it again.
I'm kidding. I'll say it again. I hate black people.
Yeah, there's
no.
two kinds. No,
Yeah, there are two kinds. No, I'm kidding. Dude, I don't get. I just associate. I have a joke about how just I associate racism with stupidity.
It's dumb.
I associate it so closely with like being a dumbass.
I do get racism on a like a survival, like non-developed non-developed, like culturally if
like my tribe, stick with my tribe, right?
You stick with your tribe, like on a survivability level when you don't have a society.
Like prisons, when people go to prison, they they devolve into that.
Yes.
The whites stick with the whites.
Exactly.
You're not racist if you go to prison and stick to that.
But that's just what it is. It doesn't matter if you don't like those isolated tribes in India and in South America. There's these isolated tribes that if you don't look like them and you just show up, they're gonna kill you.
Just a bunch of arrows, just blow dart.
They're just.
You're dead. No, the thing is, but is that the bar? We live in an educated, developed society.
Right. And that's what I'm saying is like once you have a society with education and you understand that you can't, that's not a valid way to like, determine whether or not someone's good. But it's like if you're in like the rainforest and you look one way and then you see some other people that look a different way, you're like, I don't know that, I've never seen anything like that. Get them.
It's also like it's so exhausting having dealt with racism before. It's like a really exhausting thing to like deal with someone and be like, oh, they're being an asshole to me because of this.
Sure.
And it's just like, oh, and you can't really prove it.
It is stupidity.
It's like in the back of your head.
No.
And you're just like, I can't really prove, but I think this is why. And it sucks. It's like a really big like doubt too, because you want to. I think everybody naturally wants to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I lean that way. But sometimes, like I've had interactions with people, and I'm like, I think I know what this is about, and it's like, yeah, screw you.
Yeah, on a survival level, when you're dealing with some people that aren't culturally
So you're
developed.
saying if we went to prison, you wouldn't have
my
back?
Prison. I'm not saying in any time we live in. I'm talking about,
caveman days.
Old, like when you don't look like people who don't look like each other. They're gonna naturally be like, I don't know, like oh. But once you have a society,
or you get like horny and you're like, ooh, looks good.
Sure, you're like, ooh, that's cool.
So like, let's say it's like 2040, the aliens are here and they've integrated.
Yeah.
And your daughter wants to like date an alien. You're gonna be like, that's cool.
Interspecies?
Interspecies, man.
Probably not cool.
But they're like living with us. You work with them. Some of them are like your friends. You invite them, kick around for a beer every once in a while. The aliens are cool. You're gonna be like,
I don't know,
because I don't know how I would feel about that. Like, because like that's the thought I have. Like some people who have that issue with other races like almost think of them as like aliens because of like non-exposure, right? Most of the time it's due to like lots of non-exposure. So if you think about it, how would you feel if your daughter brought home an alien?
Well, is
I'd
that
be like, get that goddamn galaxy out of my home?
It just depends on whether or not the alien was black, and then
for me it would be if they were white or Asian.
Right?
I'm kidding. That's not... I do actually. We should never talk about. What? I take the Asian part back. I hate black people, but not Asians. I love Asians because Asian hate's real, man. Asians are getting attacked lately. Ever since COVID, man. Oh my god.
Everybody's getting attacked, man. Who's not getting attacked? We're all getting attacked.
Yeah, it's a really not safe time. We were talking about it earlier, not on recording the podcast, but I think a lot of people want to die, man. I think a lot of people are like done with life.
Way to bring it up in the middle here.
People are done.
This is when the podcast gets.
Well, this is when Matt and this is
when
when Matt's watching.
This is peak Matt and Edgar time. This is like right when they're like, they're really settling in, and they're figuring out what they're gonna say to me. But yeah, this is the
about
good
when
stuff.
Matt comments.
This is when you get to the meat. This is when you get to the meat of the podcast.
Clip it.
Does anybody want to live anymore?
I don't think people want to live anymore, man.
I think there's an overall sadness in society for sure.
It's real, and that's why we're here.
And that's why we need a war. We got to win a war, and then all of a sudden everything's going to be great again. Only a lot of people have to die, and then we can feel good about
wars
everything.
Are like the FIFA World Cup, for like countries.
They should do a World War Cup.
World War Cup.
World Cup War.
Oh man. That is a sad topic to talk about. I'm really excited, Keith. Ask me what I'm doing this weekend.
What are you doing?
I'm going to the Craven to watch my buddy.
The Craven?
The cavern. I'm going to the cavern on Free Street to watch my buddy perform with his band Objet and Trawl and Parts Per Million. But I'm really there for the Objet. And maybe a little bit of the Trawl. Yeah. I like Trawl.
Yeah, man. Trawl's sick.
Mess with
we haven't seen Parts Per Million yet, but I've seen their music videos.
Is that a girl band? I'm kidding.
It is. It's just women, and they're elderly.
Really?
It's like it's all
like
70. Yeah, it's like the Golden Girls, but they all wear spandex and play Flying V guitars.
Damn.
No, it's dudes in they're middle-aged dudes in a band.
And
they have good music videos. The music is very tight. If you like really tight music, you'll love Parts Per Million.
It just hit me. So this is happening downstairs at Free Street.
That's correct.
Oh, man, I go to Free Street so often.
Yeah, well, you'll be back there. You'll be seeing it. But by the time you guys hear this, the show will have already happened. So you can be like, "How was the show? How was it? Did you break a string? Did your guitar go out of tune during a solo? You
do solos?
Of course.
I've heard your solos.
He's heard the solos.
I've heard the solos.
They don't call me Dr. Shred for nothing.
We haven't talked about Diddy, have we?
Pretty sure we touched upon Diddy.
Like he touched upon.
But
Meek
I
Mill.
don't. I never cared about Diddy. I never.
You didn't care about
I
the
never
Puff
thought
Daddy?
Puff Daddy was cool. I always thought he was kind of a turd.
Yeah.
I was never into Puff Daddy.
Shouldn't say that about a black man, even though he's a pedophile, though. But
I could say whatever I want about that guy. He's a jerk.
He's
a big old jerk.
He's a big old jerk. He is a rapist, so kind of a jerk behavior, kind of a awful thing to do.
Yeah, he's
100%.
Yeah. Those are YouTube loves those words.
Well, you can block that out. Sorry about saying that word.
No, it's cool. But anyway, it's
wild that his kids got arrested too.
I didn't hear that.
It runs in the family. Yeah, his kids got arrested for human trafficking and sexual violence, dude. It's wild that the tree doesn't, the nuts don't fall far from the tree.
The nuts don't fall from the bag of nuts.
The nuts get in your mouth from the tree.
The nuts don't fall too far from the scrotum.
Oh, man. It's a hell of a time.
I know.
Diddy did it.
Diddy.
The diddler. That's my favorite meme that's come out.
I'm sure there's been a lot of memes. Just pile on.
There's so many good memes.
Pile on. And I was surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised how much media coverage OJ's death got, but I kind of am.
I saw this really funny meme of SpongeBob walking around a neighborhood with a sign saying, "Have you seen this guy?" And it's SpongeBob, and the caption says, "OJ Simpson in hell looking for the killer of his wife." But I don't know, man. I didn't care about OJ.
Yeah, That was like the first big news story I kind of remember as a kid.
Yeah, well, the Bronco chase scene was wild.
Yeah, there really wasn't like that was the biggest news in the night. Like this 30 years ago,
They
1994.
recreated it in Shrek.
Oh,
Shrek 2.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Bronco scene.
But it's a big. It was a big thing, and that was like one of the first news stories I ever remember. Pretty crazy. You see that in third grade, you're like, oh, this guy who I am vaguely familiar with is apparently killed 2 people, and you kind of like understand what's going on, but you're like a kid, so you don't really get it. But it was on TV all the time. It was such a big story. And then he got arrested. What? Okay, here's something. They're gonna look at his brain, right?
For like CTE.
Oh yeah.
Who knows? I think they have to have you have to sign for that before you die.
Yeah, but they looked at Aaron Hernandez's brain.
I think he signed something.
Yeah, I mean, all these guys. I mean, there's got to be OJ's got to be CTE'd out, right?
I don't know. I think the weird thing about OJ to me is how, you can't be no double jeopardy. So like he was acquitted in the criminal, but he lost in the civil because of the differences in standards. But he like was kind of tongue in cheek about killing her.
I love the video of him coming after that news lady with the banana going, ree, ree, ree. That's great.
He was so tongue-in-cheek about
What
it.
a guy.
And then he gets arrested and gets sentenced to prison for organizing a robbery.
He stole his own memorabilia back, yeah.
So, like, the guy is like...
That's CTE. That's total CTE.
I think that's just years of people letting you go with bullshit, and then you kind of internalize that confidence, and you're like, I can do whatever I want. I don't think Aaron Hernandez... I think it's actually... I think it's kind of disgusting to blame all of that on CTE or brain injuries when there are plenty... Brain injuries are huge. So many people have brain injuries. So many people have brain injuries and they don't even know. TBIs are huge. And people... They're not all killing people. They're not all, like, acting like shitheads. These people... or acted like shitheads because for years as little kids, because they were really good at throwing a ball and had bodies that were bigger than other people, they got away with shit, and they lived in a society that favored them, and they got big heads and started doing shitty things and got away with it. Starts off with small shit, fucking not going to class one day, skipping out on shit, just being shitheads.
Speaking of big heads, what size do you wear your baseball hat on?
Okay, are you going off of the fact that this keeps breaking?
I didn't even actually know. I'm not even kidding you. I did not notice that.
Oh.
Do you wear it on the last one?
Yeah, I try to. This one's a smaller hat.
It's so fun because, like, as a guy with a kind of a big head, especially for my size, I have a big head for my size. Just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
You have a thick head.
Certain people, you're like, oh, that's the head that last little nub is made for. And to me, that's like impressive. Like, cause like, man, how sucky is that if your head's so big that you can't even, you got to get bigger. Wait, you are the guy.
I am the guy with this hat. Most hats I'm good, but this hat particular, I'm the last one.
We'll put it on backwards.
I don't want it.
I see the last nub backwards. That's a cool look.
I'm no nub.
I'm no nubbing it.
I'm no nub.
I'm no nubbing it.
That could be like a Middle Earth name. No nub. Let's go on a traveling.
Dude, they make that nub for somebody, and that guy is you. I never thought I'd be podcasting with the guy who they make the last nub on the hat.
I am the last nub to rule them all.
I think that hat's just broken though.
It's a shitty hat. My dog bit it a little bit.
Okay.
Yoshi.
But on the last.
Yoshi.
The last nub fits you pretty good on most hats.
When it nubs.
What about, can you do 2 or is that gonna be?
That's a little tight.
That's tight.
Two's
you
tight.
need the one.
I need
the last one.
Well, imagine also like if I were to put all of them in, or like most of them in.
Yeah. What size hat do you think I'm wearing?
Well, it doesn't
How many
matter.
nubs am I?
I think you're a solid three nub guy. Are you a three nubber?
Three. Show me. Turn your hat around. Show me where my. Show me on the doll where my. You think I'm a three nubber?
I think you're a solid three nubber.
I think I'm a two nubber.
You're
Let's.
a two
I'm gonna
nubber?
put. Do you mind if I put your hat on?
Yeah, sure. It's kind of gross, but here you go. Here's two nubs.
I like things that are kind of gross.
Two nubs for you.
Wait, two nubs? No. That's no. I'm talking two nubs in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while since I've.
This small hat.
Let me see.
It's a North Face.
Oh,
hat.
that fits perfectly.
Oh, wow.
That's two nubs. Two nubs in, yeah, just like I remembered. And yeah, so there's
Let's see. I'm gonna try.
5 or 6 nubs.
Oh, this is tight. This is a real tight.
Oh, that's got to be so tight.
It's real tight. That's gonna leave marks. It's gonna leave marks. I could still wear it, but
It looks good.
But like, if I think
Oh, it looks good.
it's
It's
tight.
probably not comfortable for you.
Yeah, I have a stress headache now.
That
Fix
sucks.
that.
Yeah, leave in the comments how many nubs on your hat.
What interesting conversation.
It is good.
I love the comments that we get of some people are like, podcast equipment should cost more money, or like,
Oh, I haven't seen that one. That's a good one.
or like, man, let's start a podcast.
That
That's
one's
really
good.
popular.
I like that one.
Let's
It's
start
like
a
two
podcast.
people. Let's start a podcast.
Let's start a podcast.
And guess what?
we did.
That's what we did.
We did.
We
I'll
said, you know
start
what?
with a little text message.
And this is the last episode. So hope you like it.
Am I getting fired?
Yeah. You're being replaced by a white man.
It's about time. That's why I bought the camera. Guys, follow me on. Kidding. Cut me right off.
Follow me on.
Follow me on Pornhub.
You got a page?
Of course.
All right.
There was a time I thought Pornhub was the future. They take all media.
Did you buy a lot of stock? Their stock?
Dude, if I could buy Pornhub stock, I would. But I think they're still a private company. Whereas
probably.
They would not. They don't need to go public.
They don't need.
They make hand over fist so much money.
If you could do anything for your career, what is it? Streamer?
No,
You wouldn't stream for a living?
I wouldn't stream.
What's
for a
your
living.
top career choice? Like, if you could do anything to make how would you spend your day?
Oh, to spend
40
my
hours
day.
a week. You gotta do something.
It'd be cool to be an author. I'd like to be an
You
author.
be writing?
Yeah, like a successful author. Like, I think everybody would love to live like a Stephen King lifestyle. Minus having your kid die on you. Like
Who?
Stephen King lost a child. to
Oh, a
car
miscarriage?
accident. To a car accident.
When?
A long time ago.
Why do I not remember that? Are you sure that? I think that's fake news.
I think it's true.
I don't think so.
I think he lost a child, and he was
He got hit by a car.
Oh, my bad. I'll take that back. He got hit by a car.
He got hit by a car.
He got hit by a car at a Wendy's.
In 1999, it was not at a Wendy's.
I heard it was at
was-
Wendy's.
You've now heard a couple things wrong.
Well, no. Look, going back to the point, I'd love to live a famous author who
You want
every
fame?
once in a while, a successful author who which I feel like any art that you make like that, fame is kind of a part of that success, right? It's like you don't want to be an unknown author.
Yeah.
Who texted you?
I sent someone the link.
Oh, you sent them that, dude.
I know, and he goes, LMAO. I opened that at a very public place. So it's like, yes.
God. That's gross.
But yeah, author's cool. I want to write.
Yeah, it would be cool just because your lifestyle would be you're just on a schedule to write a book, so you just got to get a certain amount of pages in, and it's an artistic adventure. It would give me the challenge that I would want. There would be a deadline, but it also would give me the time at home and the time to not really work for someone, and kind of take a break. I wrote this book. I'm not gonna write another book for a while. I'm gonna just mosey along and I'll write a book. Maybe do a speaking engagement.
Yeah, but this is kind of the thing about being an author is there is nobody stopping you from becoming an author. You are the only one stopping you from becoming an author
Oh yeah.
and writing every day, 5 pages a day. You have time to do that. You could find the time to do that.
Oh, I most certainly could. But
you could find it.
You know what it is? It's not the time. What I'm coming to is just the energy.
Well, you hit a wall. This is the thing, and this is it happens with
inspo,
so many
as
things.
You call it in text when you text me like I don't have the inspo. It's like there are times where I have this amazing surge of inspiration and focus to do something creative.
Like when you're opening a Taco Bell box and you see and you're like, what am I going to eat first?
Oh my God, that excitement. But no, like, stop calling me fat for a second. But like,
didn't call you fat.
2 a.m. or something, like I'll have this amazing inspiration. I'll write something. And
you're like, I'll order a GoPuff. I'll get something different. Sorry. What's your inspo? At 2 a.m. you're getting inspo?
I don't know if I want to talk to you
anymore. You want to talk to me. What's your inspo at 2 a.m.? What are you getting?
Man, this guy's all peppy all of a sudden. What the heck's going on, buddy? Did you have yourself chocolate milk and you're getting so excited?
You're my chocolate milk.
Fuck.
No.
He's worming into my heart again. But no, like
heartworms, get medicated.
I don't know. I was talking to a friend of mine about
Watch what you eat on the side of the road.
Oh my God.
Not you, just heartworms.
God.
Anyway.
Man, I hope your other tire loses air.
I hope you're right. No, I hope you're right. I hope my car flips over.
No, I don't wish death upon you,
Yeah,
Keith.
you
I
do.
just wish an inconvenience upon you.
Trust me,
an
I had a
inconvenience
full week
upon
of-
your household.
I had inconveniences all week. So anyway, you got your 2 a.m. inspo.
Yeah, your house deal.
What is it?
What is it? Usually stand up nowadays. Or it'll always be comedy. I have an idea to write an
You get an idea.
Yeah.
Do you get up? Do you write it?
Yeah, I write stuff.
At 2 a.m.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have to write it down.
Are you asleep and wake up out of like, I got an idea?
I'm not asleep at 2 a.m. when I have those ideas. Usually I'm up. Usually I'm gaming. And I've gone to like that.
Are you gaming until 2 a.m. most nights?
No. Set weekends. Because usually that's the time I can fit it in.
Friday, Saturday?
Yeah. Like tonight I'll probably be up until like 3 a.m.
Oh, it's Friday tonight. Yeah, we usually. I thought it was Tuesday.
Did I?
Or Monday. I thought it was Monday. It's always Monday when we hang out.
Our schedule's Monday pod. But no, yeah, the business trip kind of ruined. Thank you for being flexible. The business trip ruined everything. But
I am flexible. The doctor said I should have been a gymnast.
The doctor. Speaking of doctors, hate mine. Gonna get a new one. Not very happy with them. He told me it was fat, and that was offensive.
And so you're like, I'm out.
I want a fat doctor. I want representation in my medical experience. I did have a fat doctor once. I had a bigger doctor. He wasn't fatter than me, but he was close. To the point where I was kind of like, man, you're taking care of me.
Was his name Dr. Pepper?
I think his name was Dr. John. And Dr. John, it was funny. Me and Dr. John were talking. I was like, hey, Doc, I'm in because I'm worried about like the shoulder or whatever. And I'm like, and he was like, yo, yeah, I get that too. That's just a part of being big, man. You might lose some weight. That'll go away. And that was like legit his medical assessment. He's like, I get the same thing around here. I'm like, damn.
You're like, I relate.
I'm like, could you be my doctor forever? I like you.
Yeah. And then he died of heart disease a week later.
Yeah,
anyway.
we did. Yeah, man. Hey, health at every size.
You can do it. No, you can't. You can. I don't know. It's fun to get inspired though.
It is fun. What have you been? Have you gotten any inspiration lately?
Well, the album is like, it's almost done, and I've been trying to write new music for the next chunk of songs. You know.
What's a song that you're writing that has any meaning behind it? Like what's it about?
No, it's usually just like
about puss.
Yeah, dude, that's every song. I write every song about
crushing puss.
Every song. This song's about crushing me. No, a lot of our songs are about space. A singer wrote lyrics for this song called "Perpetual Drift," and I think it's gonna be a real hit.
Does it go like Perpetual
No,
drift.
it doesn't say the name. We don't say the
Perpetual drift.
Yeah, we don't say the names of our songs in our songs.
Oh, that sucks. You don't have a song
when I
that's
write
called
the lyrics.
Eclipse. Eclipse.
No, I don't do that. But yeah, no, I write. I'll just pick up my guitar and I'll play a note, and then I'll just be like, all right, what's the cool next note, and then I'll just do that, and then I mess around with it, and then I just kind of string everything together, and before you know it, I got a song.
My girlfriend should join your band. She'd crush it.
You trying to get your girlfriend to like hang out with me?
No, she would like hanging out. You two would like each other.
We do like each other.
Yeah, you haven't met her that much though, have you?
I've met her.
Handful of times. No, she plays guitar. She has like 4 guitars in the house. A lute. She knows how to play the lute.
Oh, I'm looking for
She put that on her resume. When she was looking for jobs back in the day, she was like, should I put that in my resume
for non-music related jobs?
Oh yeah, she would.
Just be like, yeah, I play a harpsichord. Like, they're not gonna check. They're like, oh, just so happens I have one right here behind the desk. Can you tickle the old harpsichord ivory for me?
I'm an old harpsichord fan. No, it was funny.
The
job she has now brought it up in her interview and said it was a cool fact. They liked it. It was a reason why they gave it a second look. And I had told her it's dumb to put it in there. Nobody cares if you can play the lute. It's like nobody.
Wow, you're a really negative guy.
Well, I just think most, you gotta. All those resumes are reviewed by an algorithm looking for keywords, such as like, calibrated experience. I
thought you just inflated your upper lip. What were you doing? Okay, I was like, does he have a talent? Does he have like an air sac that he just could inflate his lip randomly?
Well, all black people when they turn 13 develop their air sac.
Is that why? Okay, yes. I wonder what was going on.
And sometimes when they're looking to mate, they just go. No, you fucking.
I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
It's like a bagpipe in there.
You go to Africa, the air bag. No, I was just being weird, man. Being weird.
I think you got to be weirder.
How weird do you want me to get, man?
I mean, we're
oiled up and naked. I will.
This is the end of the pod. This is when, statistically speaking, this is when the weirdest stuff happens. I feel like if you're not listening at this point, you're missing the juice. R.I.P. OJ.
We miss you.
Yeah, he's dead. But do you have any closing arguments?
1 out of 5 podcasts end like this.
What is happening? Can we reenact the eclipse real quick? Okay, we did it.
I think we're done.
That was a really quick eclipse.
It was real quick.
This has been Mokeith time.